What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm Lou's Takes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. We are on the road to 250 subscribers. Thank you for all the subscribers who are already joined. I appreciate all of you. You guys help me grind and give out more content on the Cowboys. And just make sure the Cowboys hear our voice and yours. In this video, we will be going over probably the most embarrassing position group that the Cowboys had on our team last year. As you know, that loss to Green Bay in the playoffs still leaves an ugly taste in our mouths, and is really in due part to this position group, and that is the linebackers. In every game we had last year, whether it be against the 49ers, the Bills, and even the Packers, I think the common denominator of the two is that those teams literally just lined up and ran it down our throat. And that can be in due part to two positions, being nose tackle and in linebackers. But as we know, Jonathan Hankins was a pretty good, nose tackle for us, clogging up holes. And it's up to the linebackers to, be able to press up, use their instincts, and fire downhill. But you can't do that sometimes when you have linebackers weighing 140 pounds when wet. So it's up to the Cowboys to fix this grave problem for the upcoming season, because we cannot have another season of us not being able to fix this run game from the defensive standpoint. Because I don't know why under Dan Quinn's tenure we had like a top 10, top 5 defense, but we always been in the bottom half of the league in run. And it's been the same issue year in and year out. So one thing I noticed from our linebackers, being Damone Clark, shout out to LVE, he had a great career. But one thing I noticed that in these games, what they displayed, they were undersized. I think Jordan Love went on Michael Parsons' podcast and literally gave their game plan on, immediately when they turned on Dallas Cowboys, they was like, hey, you guys have DBs playing inside at linebacker. And I don't know what was the Cowboys thinking, like we can hide it forever, or what, that wouldn't been the case, that wouldn't been the game plan. But we were so, headstrong, we were so, delusional to the fact that we could play linebackers with with hybrid safeties and cover guys. I mean, they're hell of a cover linebackers, but as far as stopping a run, no. I didn't see any instincts from these linebackers. I've seen millions of times the play is going right. Clearly, the guard is pulling. They're not reading the linemen. They're not reading down blocks, and they're flying out the other way. And they're turning, a itty bitty lane into a wide hole that's the size of the Grand Canyon. And it was so irking to me seeing that. And Aaron Jones, and I'm blanking on the Bills running back right now, but these guys just going for 200 yards. But the worst part is they're averaging about 4 to 5 yards per carry, and that's when you're getting torched on the game. And then another one, this all ties in, but I don't believe these guys have any football IQ. You couldn't tell me, like, if they were really in the, watching film, getting head and tendencies. If I know I'm undersized, I'm going to beat the offensive lineman to the punch. Or to the spot, and just be a nuisance. But you couldn't count on them to do that, because when you have bad instincts, you don't know where you're going, and you're flying out of there, you're fooled down there in the interior. So it was so frustrating. I know it was for you Cowboys fans, especially for me. It was just basic football 101 with this season. Running out that group of linebackers really irked my skull. So I feel like this is the one position in this year's draft that we cannot afford to miss on. We have to hit on these picks, whether it be one linebacker or two. We did pick up Eric Kendricks, who was previously in Mike Zimmer's system. So I think that's going to be huge for the entire defense, with us learning a whole new defensive scheme. But I don't believe he immediately solves the depth problem. He's an older guy, for one. and he's still trying to prove that he's got years in the tank. And to me, I think he's just using the Cowboys because he was signed to the Niners, but once the Niners told him like, hey, you're not going to be one of the main guys next to Fred Warner. I think he dashed out on the deal and came with Dallas. You're like, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna build enough film so I can get paid again. So I think we're just a stepping stone for him. This is why we need to hit on our draft picks. But these are the top linebackers that the Cowboys should select in this upcoming NFL draft. First prospect, Adrian Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M. Great size, great instincts, downhill. Most of the film he was mugged up. I loved him as in the spy role when he was mugged up because he's coming down with authority. To a degree, I do want a little bit of more coverage, but we can coach that up, and we also have other linebackers that can come in and fill those coverage in a game. Just turning that 4 yards per carry we used to get gashed on to 2. This is the perfect pick. All that defense is usually set by the linebackers. It's if they nasty up front, like as a whole, that's because they got a great leader inside. Next prospect, Peyton Wilson, linebacker out of NC State. Great coverage guy. I thought he thrived in space. I think he just loved being in the one-on-one drill. Just him. He's gonna wrap up. He's gonna get the guy down. I think he would be great for the Cowboys in certain packages. I want him to gain some more weight. I think he looks a little light. And that goes into one of my knocks against him. He's not as downhill as he's not coming up. Great coverage tapes. So one-on-one with the running back, and I think he's a type you wouldn't have to worry about. He's a sure tackler, but yeah, I think this would be a good pick for the Cowboys, either second or third round. We will see, but keep your eye on him. Next prospect, Junior Colson out of Michigan. Now, if you was watching Michigan this year, they had a nasty defense, and I'm telling you, I'm looking at that with these linebackers of what the defense look like around them. And Junior Colson he's very violent on the point of attack. He's coming in to lay wood onto the running back with authority. He's playing with his hair on fire. I see he has a great motor, great instincts. So I'm liking those things. I think he has Cowboys, written all over him. I just see the star on his, on the side of his helmet when he plays. Only downside is, and this is a big one, he has Michigan blood. And what that means is, if you don't know, Michigan players, when we draft them out, for the Dallas Cowboys, we don't have the greatest track record, because of a lot of these guys, they're very violent in college, and they come in already banged up, and then that's just the theme of their whole career with Dallas, just banged up. From Taco Charlton to we got Monty Smith and we got Shoemaker on the squad right now, and these guys, we just saw that they're just now having surgery, or they're barely going to be ready for training camp. So we can just assume automatically, this guy is going to be also banged up, but we don't know. But if we want to dip in that pool again because of these other guys, if I think I believe if we didn't have that knack on him, I think the Cowboys would for sure pick him because he's just great. He just brings whatever we're missing. If I turn on the Cowboys versus the Packers game, and I just imagine Junior Colson there instead of Damone Clark, I promise you that game would have went a lot differently. I promise you, he would have made Aaron Jones earn every yard. It would be a lot different. Next prospect, Steel Chambers out of Ohio State. This defense was also nasty and all over the place. He's great in space, great coverage skills, got a lot of interceptions. It's on his film too. Like, he's baiting quarterbacks, and he's great in zone, great in man. He can move, but guess what? He's flying all over. the film, he's everywhere. I like that. He reminds me when I was watching Micah Parsons' film. Like Michael was just flying all over the field and just making plays. It's just great motor, great effort. Great overall, great balance of a coverage and a downhill run stopper linebacker, and with great instincts. At open space, no problem, because he's flying all over the place. I would love this pick as well, whether it be in third. We don't have a fourth round pick in the fifth round, but yeah, this guy is just he just with the new defense Mike Zimmer would have put in, having I'm pretty sure he's gonna have Micah more off ball. This guy and the other guys I just mentioned. I wouldn't mind them being right there next to Micah and still using Micah how you want to use him, from depth. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But these are all the prospects that there's plenty more. Because we only got so many picks, and we desperately need to revamp our linebacking position. Yeah, because. Man, the linebacking play was just so bad from this past season. So I'm really itching us for us to revamp and get new guys in here. It just seemed like on the roster we only had one true run stopper, and that was LVE. And once he went down, we weren't like great at stopping the run, but at least we were average. And once he went down, and then Damone Clark, and I'm blanking on the other linebacker name, but. Or just not Jabril Cox, but once they were out there, it was just the same thing. It was in the back of my mind as soon as Green Bay ended up we ended up getting matched with them. I just knew with previous history, Aaron Jones with him playing in Dallas, I just knew he was gonna run all over us, unless the Cowboys just committed to stopping the run today, but they didn't, and the same thing happened. So, yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the draft. We got a couple of more position groups we got to go over. Defensive tackle, I'm gonna briefly go over that, because my only thing is we're so with the news with Mozzie Smith, we are in a very much deep and probably emergency level with the defensive tackle. We just got so many holes, man. But yeah, like how we don't know who we're gonna be running out there, especially with Mozzie. And if we run Mozzie out there, is he going to be 100%? So we're gonna have to either use a draft pick on him, or not on him, on a DT, or we're gonna have to do something undrafted free agency, because we're clearly not doing anything in the free agency. Yeah, this Cowboys team, they claim they're all in. Well, he only got like 4 or 5 draft picks and so many needs, and some of these needs we need to double dip. I'm very curious. That we're also gonna do a mock draft, so stay tuned to that. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the podcast. We're gonna be live during the draft, so you're gonna be able to see my thoughts live of what the Cowboys should do, if we're gonna trade back. You're gonna see me talk my ish to my co-hosts or fans of other teams. They on top right now. A couple of them are Texans fans, and they just traded for Stephon Diggs. But yeah, until next time, Cowboys Nation, peace.